Arg! Ahoy there, matey! Welcome aboard the world of boating.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I was just looking into buying a boat of my own.
Call World of Boating toll-free now at 1-8888-28-BOAT. That's 1-888-828-BOAT.
And welcome. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick, Barry, the boater, Mike the Mariner, rounding out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information. Coming up a little bit later on, we got a special guest from the folks that make the Verado outboard engines. It should be very enlightening. I'm looking forward to it. Last week we were talking to the guy from Volvo Penta, and now we're going to find out how these outboards stack up with a special guest here in just a bit. Patrick was nice enough to set that up. Are you excited about this? Are you ready for this, Patrick, or what?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And then also we got Mike the Mariner. He is going to just be with us for a few minutes because you are currently cruising in your new vessel as we speak. Is that right, Mike?
Yes, sir.
You're bringing her home. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been about 65 miles so far. We left Brunswick, Georgia at 7:20 this morning. And we're approaching downtown Jacksonville right now.
All right. Well, so, wave hi to Captain Rusty while you cruise by there. So this is your new vessel. You just picked it up, and you're taking it back to your home port in Sanford, right? Is that the plan?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're on our way now. We're going to spend the night, I think, tonight in Palatka. And move on.
Oh boy!
Yeah, Palatka is the vacation capital of Florida.
Right.
Okay, why is Patrick laughing? What's so special about Palatka?
Well, just being able to say it.
Okay, there's nothing there
about
Palatka.
Okay, well, yeah. Why?
All the places to stop.
Well, is it just logistics? Is that it, Mike, or what?
Yeah,
okay.
Just logistics. I mean, there aren't very many marinas that can accommodate us, and getting down to Renegades is going to take a little too long.
All right.
We're going to pull into Palatka.
Okay. They have room for your, once again, what is it? Tell everybody, refresh our memories.
Oh, it's a Silverton 39.
Nice. All right. So you happy with the way it's been cruising so far? I assume so. You look happy.
Yeah, it's been perfect. You know, based on, it's not a speed demon. We're doing about 13 and a half knots right now. So I'd love to bolt a couple of those Verados on the back of it.
Well, okay. Well, we'll see if we can cut you a deal. Yeah, maybe. It's always possible. We'll put in a word.
But you didn't want a speedy boat this time. You wanted more of a cruiser, right?
Right. Yeah, we're looking for it. It's diesel powered, slow mover, but we spend a lot of time on it.
I mean, just look at him. You can see him on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch and everything. We're doing the live stream.
Brand new.
He just looks happy, is what I'm saying. He looks like a happy boat owner, So that first day of purchase has carried over for at least like a full week now, right? So you're still basking in the afterglow of your new purchase. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm knocking on wood right now. Nothing is. We haven't had any squawks.
Okay.
Everything's been good.
Well, you don't want any surprises, but that's good. But he looks happy, Barry. Are you with me on this? Look at him.
No, I can see it. He's just smiling from ear to ear.
Uh-oh. Is that a warning bell that just went off?
No.
What is that?
No warning bells.
Okay. That sounds like something's wrong. So all of a sudden I start hearing this noise and racket.
No, it's actually been a very beautiful day. When we got to Brunswick yesterday, it was horrible. The weather was terrible, just rain and wind, and we weren't really sure how today was going to go, but we woke up this morning and the weather was absolutely stunning.
Okay, what is that racket, Mike? What is the noise? What is that?
Well, I've got two big diesel engines running. That might be it.
Okay.
It just disappeared.
Yeah.
It disappeared.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Patrick, are you playing games? Are you trying to make him look bad, Patrick? Come on. Fess up. All right.
I do not need to make Mike look bad.
Oh, wow. That hurt. Harsh.
I mean, how does the boat look from this position? It looks clean, like a brand new boat.
It does.
Yeah, it's really clean. You want me to give you a quick tour?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Start with my guest quarters.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
that would be in the poop deck.
Hey, quit it. Stop it.
Can you take the helm?
All right. So, yeah. Put someone on the
We'll be
helm.
right back.
All right. He's going to show us with his
this is the
iPhone.
crew.
There's the crew. Hey, crew. How are you?
Yeah.
All right. Have you already decided if you guys get stranded, who you're going to eat first to survive? Mike, did you?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this is the after deck, and it's a mess right now because we're just underway and have stuff stacked up.
Yeah, that looks nice,
But,
nice and roomy. Yeah.
Yeah, and then take my shoes off.
Yep. Take your shoes
This
off. You
is-
don't want to dirty up your
Oh
new
man,
vessel.
that's beautiful.
Oh. So you're down in the what do you call that? Lounge galley?
That's the galley.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
there's
right.
the galley. This is the
Nice
salon.
couch, salon. Oh yeah, nice
Yeah,
leather,
dinette.
nice woodwork on the walls
Yeah.
and on the table there. Oh, this is
And,
a nice.
this-
This will be
This is
cushy.
the master suite.
Okay, so there's my room. Okay, got it. I like
Good, right
that.
next to the engines. That way you could breathe in all
That's
that
okay. It's
exhaust
plenty
air.
big.
Yeah,
plenty
the
big.
engines. I'm standing over the engines right now.
Ah, see,
Ah,
We're down.
phooey.
we'll throw
Ruin
Barry down
everything,
there
Mike.
in the bilge. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got the front there has the master bedroom, and then the back or the aft.
You mean the
is-
bow?
No, actually, the master's in the stern.
Oh, it's in the
and,
stern. Okay, okay, we're
Yeah, the
backwards
guest,
on the video.
The guest
Got it.
room is in the bow.
Okay, there you go. But you could sleep 4 people easily, if not more.
6. Yeah.
6. Okay. What the couch in the lounge area breaks out
Yeah,
into a
turn-
bed?
Yeah, it's a fold-out couch.
Okay.
Well, that's assuming they're all friends, right?
No, it
Yeah,
doesn't
you
matter.
have to like each other.
Yeah.
You have to like each other.
No, you're on the water, on a boat. You have no choice. You got to make
Right.
quick friends. But
I-
then you have a full head and shower and the whole thing, or a couple of them, or
Yeah,
one or
it's
two.
two.
All right.
Two staterooms and two heads.
There you go. And this thing is
Oh, what are those
powered.
bridges?
Well, it's Jacksonville, right?
Yeah. It's, one of them is I-95.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Well, like I said, wave to Captain Rusty, who's at Jacksonville Marine.
Hey,
As
yeah,
you're
maybe you
cruising
could
through.
stop by there and get some lunch or something from him.
We'll be passing him in about an hour and a half.
Oh, he's still got a ways to go. Okay. All
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Feel free
He's
to
little.
sponge off of him, trying to hit him up for something. Yeah. But just don't tell him you know us. That won't help.
Right. Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that looks great, Mike. I'm very happy for you. We kid, we joke around a lot, but I mean, you do. You look like a happy person right now. You're smiling even more than you usually do. He's generally a pretty upbeat guy, regardless. But I mean, do you feel it? Do you really like, hey, I got my boat. I feel
Yeah.
complete again. That's the kind of
Yeah.
expression
Well,
I'm getting from you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean,
All right.
that's what it's all about. Right?
Okay. And what do you have power in this thing? This 39?
It's twin Cummins 5.9. They're the 6 BTA.
Yeah.
So they're not the QSMs. They're the previous generation with the mechanical fuel injectors.
Okay. But you got plenty of juice behind that thing for your liking, sounds like.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, for what I want, that's certainly not going to win any races unless
Yeah.
I'm racing a sailboat.
Right.
So we're going to get some photos of the engine room after you've polished everything up, correct?
Sure.
All right.
All right.
It's a little loud for me to show it to you right now.
Yeah.
No,
well,
no, that's
okay.
fine.
Well, I
Hey,
appreciate
Hey,
it.
Mike, what transmissions did they couple with the engines?
Those are they are the velvet drives.
Okay.
Yep.
Velvet drives. Kind of
Yes.
like a Velvet Elvis kind of engine
No,
transmission
no.
thing?
No. No,
Okay.
just-
Just wondering.
no.
All right. They're soft and smooth. That's
They
what
are.
it refers to.
They are.
Yeah.
They are soft and smooth. But
Yeah.
And what are you spinning for props?
I don't remember the size and pitch, but I have them in the specifications. I
Okay.
have a book
There you go.
that thick.
Well,
But they were reconditioned and installed a couple of months ago.
All right.
So they're
And
fresh.
when you get down to Sanford, I know when you sold your previous boat, didn't you pair up your slip with the boat?
Yes, actually, the boat I sold is in the slip I used to have, and I'm going to be right behind him.
Oh, so you get to see your ex. Okay.
No, his ex
Yeah.
boat gets to see his new
His
boat.
New boat,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we're going to be right behind the old boat. So
And what about a name?
Yeah. That's the big
we have
question.
we have one picked out.
Yeah. And
Ah.
are you willing to share?
No, he
We
can't
we
do
can't-
it.
we
Oh,
He can't
no,
do
no.
it until he
it
puts it on the boat.
Yeah.
until we pay homage to Poseidon. We can't tell you.
Okay. but you do have it nailed down. You know what you're going to call your
Yeah.
new vessel. All
Yeah,
right, so
right now she's called Huckleberry, but that's going to be
but you're going to
a
change it.
different name.
Don't call it Old Greg.
Yeah, well, right now it's Huckleberry, and then next week
Huckleberry.
it'll be Finn, I guess, right?
Right.
I don't want to
That's an
change
unusual name,
All right.
Huckleberry.
Maybe not.
All right,
Yeah.
well, good stuff. Send us some pictures of the exterior. You know, obviously he's on it, so he just had to show us the interior, but that looks nice. It looks like a great floating studio for the World of Boating radio show.
We can do that.
Okay. Yeah, you heard it here first. All right, so coming up, we got Jeff from Verado. We're going to learn a lot about those engines and much, much more today on the World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
Be an explorer in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Even Keatley wasn't ready for me, or anything that followed. Chased by a police department, led by his ex-girlfriend, and hunted by brain fork-wielding Fijian assassins, it's everything he can do to keep from getting locked up, killed, or worse. Kava Screw is available as an ebook for $2.99 at Amazon.com. Kava Screw. Put a brain fork in him. He's done.
successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the world of boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Arr! Why buy a house when ye can buy a houseboat? Yarr! Don't forget to check out the galley. That's real shag carpeting.
Mike, the Mariner, tap out and bring in our special guest, Jeff Becker from Mercury Marine. He's going to tell us about the Verado outboards, among other things. Jeff, welcome to the world of boating. How are you, buddy?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing well.
Yes.
I had a good chance to be down in Florida for a couple weeks and launch the new 7.6 liter Verado, and now I'm back home in Wisconsin, just outside of our world headquarters in Fond du Lac.
There you go. And I assume you're cryogenically preserved in the
That's right.
temperatures up there. So glad I'm not you. But regardless, we're glad you're joining us today here on the World of Boating. Patrick, take the lead. Where do you want to go with this?
Yeah, just want to say, Jeff, I mean, what a whirlwind couple weeks you guys have had. We talked maybe about the whole show last Saturday about the V12 that Mercury Marine unveiled on, I believe it was on the 11th of this month. I just got to say, before I get to the questions, well done. Absolutely amazing, astounding. The innovation, which of course we want to talk about, the space-saving designs, the two-speed transmission, the twin prop, all in this package that, from a marine manufacturer's standpoint, there's some competitors out there of Mercury Marine that don't have quite the horsepower, way more than the V12, and some applications where manufacturers are relying on triple, say 425s, going to be able to supplant that with two of these. So why don't you take us through a little bit of when Mercury Marine started, when did this hit the drawing board?
Absolutely. So we officially kicked off the program to develop a high horsepower outboard engine in February of 2016. So it was just about basically exactly 5 years of development that we went through. And, as we do with every engine program or other program that we do at Mercury, we start everything with the extensive market research. So we did about a year of market research, really trying to understand what, boat owners, outboard boat owners really want. Because as we've seen the trends, and I think everybody has seen, the outboard boats are continuing to get bigger. A number of manufacturers are introducing outboard power that, 5-10 years ago, we never thought would be outboard powered. So we really, reached out to a lot of these manufacturers, a lot of these boat owners, really trying to understand what they were looking for, from an outboard propulsion standpoint and really an overall boat package standpoint. And we took a lot of those findings and started to develop the 7.6 liter 600 horsepower engine. Throughout the program, our first engines that we put on the water were in the summer of 2018. So we've been running engines either up in Wisconsin or out of our test facilities in Florida for about 2.5 years. And now we finally got a chance to launch to the public last week.
When the Verado first came out, the first generation, I happened to be out at Lake X back when Mercury still had, that was still owned by, and happened to be fortunate enough to be able to get a ride. I was out there for something completely different. They were out doing some testing, and I was amazed at the first generation and what you guys have done with the increase in the size. The innovation, one question I have is, what led Mercury Marine to a fixed power head and gear case, or transmission, if you will, versus, was it a space-saving design, be able to get engines closer together, or was something else that drove that?
Yeah, it really was. What we learned out of our market research was, customers wanted the high horsepower because, depending on the boat application, they still wanted to be able to reduce the number of engines on the back of their boat. And, especially for those customers coming from a diesel pod or inboard application, they wanted as much transom space as possible. So being able to mount the engines as close together as possible was really important. And, the steerable gear case design allows us to have our 27-inch center-to-center spacing by not having to account for a steering angle up in the power head or in the midsection. We can account for all that with the steerable gear case, and have a 27-inch center spacing, which is an inch wider than what we have on our 450 and below portfolio, but still, tighter spacing than any of our high horsepower competitors.
Now, with the twin prop, was that something that was basically borrowed from the Bravo 3, or was that a whole new lower unit that was designed for the outboard application?
Yeah, it is a completely new design. Obviously, we've used the contra-rotating propeller design for a long time in our Bravo 3 applications, but this is a completely new gear case, completely new line of propellers. It's a 6.4-inch torpedo, so big torpedo. It's about an inch larger than what's on our Verado line today. And then the blade area of that dual prop is what really gets us that performance, the acceleration, the fuel economy, and the overall performance and thrust around the dock and joystick applications.
And now is that package, is it strictly going to be regular steering and joystick, or is joystick going to be an option with that particular package? I mean, on a multiple engine offering?
Yeah, so joystick is still an option, but we expect a high percentage of boats to take the joystick. And the other kind of benefit of this engine, especially with joystick, is that all your steering components are mounted on engine under cowls. So the entire steering system is located under cowl. So it simplifies any installation, simplifies any sort of joystick piloting installation as well.
So it's all fly-by-wire then?
Correct. So the steering is still electro-hydraulic.
Okay.
So it's the same hydraulic pump that we have on our Verado platform today, but everything mounted on engine. So everything coming out of the engine into the boat is all fly-by-wire.
And some of the stuff I was reading where you've got basically engine indicators on the display, because we're the getting used to looking backwards and not being able to see, the engine cowlings turn is going to be a little disorienting. Won't take a whole lot to get used to, especially with the display. And that's something that is going to be standard on that package as well.
Correct. Yeah, our vessel view display has a rudder angle indicator, and that was another one of those things that really came out of our research and our voice of customers. We got into the steerable gear case and the fact that your outboards remain static. For customers who are used to outboard and used to looking back and seeing which way your outboards are turned, it was going to take them a while to get used to. The 2 weeks that we've had down at Lake X, customers really, as they turn and look back, they really get used to it pretty quickly. And I think from an overall handling and joystick docking perspective, it's actually a lot simpler.
I like it. We got more with Jeff from Mercury Marine next on the World of Boating.
Listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 PSI left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Be an explorer in the other 2/3 of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Imagine traveling twice as fast as you can drive. Imagine taking friends and family snorkeling, surfing, skiing, shopping, and more to exotic destinations. Imagine attending business meetings in cities far away and still making it home at night. Or just imagine exploring the wild blue yonder.
Quit dreaming about it and get to it. There has never been a better time to become a private pilot, and Flight Training Professionals in Orlando will show you how. Flight Training Professionals in Orlando is your full-service flight school.
A state-of-the-art flight simulator, a fleet of the latest Cessna aircraft, and a staff of full-time seasoned flight instructors are just a few of the many reasons Flight Training Professionals in Orlando is the place to start your aviation adventure. Call 407-896-0077. That's 407-896-0077. Or go to ftpros.com. That's ftpros.com.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick Barry, the boater, and our special guest, Jeff Becker from Mercury Marine. He's the category manager for the big engines like the Verado V12, 600 horsepower. By the way, I got to ask just for personal reasons here, Jeff. Is this just the sign of the times? It's always going to be bigger and trying to get bigger and smaller in these type of outboards. Am I right or what? What do you think?
Yeah, we've certainly seen a lot of advancement. Mercury continues to push the envelope, with the introduction of our 450R and now the 600. So we're excited with everything that's out there, and we expect obviously more to come over the next few years.
That's right. They always go up to 11, by the way. So there's always one more that you got to add. All right, Patrick.
You guys have a detuned version of this for commercial applications, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask about.
Yeah. A lot of our commercial applications internationally will see benefits. So we have a 500 horsepower C Pro version. We launched the C Pro 4-stroke line within the last few years, really targeted for those commercial applications. A lot of the passenger ferries and operations, fishing operations and things around the world.
Nice. So then what are the differences there? Because it seems like they're both the same engine. Did you just detune it, or is it there's certain heavier duty parts because it's running more often than a personal craft?
Yeah, so the key difference is the calibration and the horsepower rating. One of the big benefits that the 600 Verado got in this program is that we had designed the engine and really developed everything from the start to be able to handle those commercial applications, and we had those applications in mind when we kicked the project off versus, taking an engine and then detuning it and trying to make it commercial. So, from a reliability and durability standpoint, the 600 Verado is going to be extremely reliable, extremely durable. And then the 500 C Pro really, will help to further that reliability for those commercial applications.
So a consumer that buys this Verado, the 600 horsepower one, is essentially getting the same animal as the 500 C Pro. It has all that durability to make it last longer, so your investment goes further along.
And you got to love that. So, look, we got to take a quick break. We'll be back with Jeff from Mercury Marine next, right here on the World of Boating.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
What will we do with a drunken sailor? What will we do with a drunken sailor? What will we do with a drunken sailor at night in the morning? Way in, she raises way in, she raises way in, she raises at night in the morning.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick Barry, the boater, and our special guest, Jeff Beck. He's no relation to the guitar player, right?
Jeff Becker.
Correct.
All right, because it's Becker, not Beck, but you'd like to be. When you like
Jeff
some
Beck.
of that money, Jeff, come on, let's be real, right?
That's right.
Yeah, no, he's making enough selling these Verados for Mercury and Marine probably already. But he is our special guest today talking about the V12. And, it's an impressive machine. And it has definitely, Patrick, kind of set the industry standard, a new standard, you think, or what?
I don't know that it's set a standard. It's just, from what I've heard, especially from some of my team that were out there, it's basically blown everybody away. I mean, literally, physically, it's just, there's so much that they packed into this. And when, Jeff, when you were talking about, 5 years in development, I mean, as quick as technology advances, and even maybe more so in the marine industry, the foresight to see where this was going and to be able to unveil this. And we have talked in the past on the show about that the increase in outboards and seeing them on boats that, normally maybe 5 years ago, you wouldn't have thought would ever be powered with outboard engines. And, I'm talking, 42, 45 foot sport cruisers, not just the center console market. Greg, to your question, I mean, just absolutely, it is amazing. Everything from the maintenance aspect, I think it's 200 hours before the first maintenance, 1,000 hours before that cowling. The main cowling would even come off, the access for all your maintenance points there. But what really got me, and Barry, I don't know if you have this on your questions, is this is the first outboard 2-speed transmission.
Yes, I do.
So a little bit about that, if you would.
But that's not a question, Barry.
No, but that was my list of things. Is as a person who took marine mechanics in high school and auto mechanics afterwards, when I think of an automatic transmission, I'm thinking of something with clutch packs. And without giving away any secret proprietary information, I'm assuming there's something like that down in there between the power head and the lower unit.
Jeff, it's magic. Be honest, right?
Correct. No, yeah. So it's so when we came out of our market research, a lot of the boaters we talked to, they were coming into larger boats. Acceleration and overall performance was really important to them. Getting that bow back down, getting the boat on plane, from a safety aspect. So we knew, as we got into higher horsepower, we really had to target acceleration. So we partnered with the leading transmission manufacturer in the marine industry, ZF, to co-develop a 2-speed transmission. So this transmission is exclusive to the 600 or the 7.6 liter Verado family. So both the 500 C Pro and the 600 Verado have the 2-speed transmission, and it is a fully hydraulic transmission designed to provide that acceleration that boaters are looking for, but also provide that cruise speed and that top speed accelerate, or that overall performance that these customers want. So first gear really is all about acceleration. It's a 2.97 to 1 gear ratio. The boat accelerates. Every boat is different. So the engine shifts based on load, time, and overall kind of RPM and speed. Engine shift into second gear, which is the 2.5 to 1 gear ratio, and continues on into kind of cruise and wide open throttle. So really, a lot of technology, a lot of effort from both the ZF team and the Mercury team to really co-develop this package and provide the boaters that overall experience. The other big benefit of the transmission is that conventional forward and reverse shifting happens in there as well. So it completely eliminates the shift clunk that a lot of boaters have come to be used to in slow speed or joystick applications. So when joysticking, completely smooth, no shifting, combined with the steerable gear case and the engine staying static, just a very refined, smooth experience for these boaters.
It's like playing a game of Donkey Kong on your boat. I love it. See, I'd fit right in. I like this. Yeah. Barry, what do you think?
No, I was going to say, I remember when I was in school, the shift mechanism was down in the torpedo. So you don't even have that in. You just had a set of gears in there, and that's it. So that's essentially a bulletproof area now.
Yep. Yeah. Everything is moved up into the transmission.
Wow.
You got to love it. Yeah. And less moving parts means less maintenance, and kind of goes back to the fact that you can go so far between, maintenance type things, right, Jeff? I assume.
Correct. Yeah. And then that was the other piece from the research. We wanted extended maintenance intervals. So these boaters can, go farther, make it easier. So everything was designed for those 200 and 1,000 hour maintenance intervals. So everything at 200 hours is accessible through the top cowl service hood with the boat in the water. You can, we had 6 boats at Lake X. We could have walked onto the back of the boat and done the maintenance on all those boats while the boats were sitting there in the basin for their 200-hour service. At 1,000 hours, the expectation is the boat will be out of the water. So the top cowl comes off at that point. You replace spark plugs, replace your water pump, impeller, things like that. But everything up through 1,000 hours is done through the top cowl service hood.
Now, I gotta ask, at the 1,000-hour mark, I mean, when we talk about the average recreational boater, 1,000 hours is could be a long period of time.
It'd be years.
Is there a 1,000 hours or 5 years, or is it 1,000 hours?
Correct. Yeah, it's 1,000 hours or 5 years.
Okay.
So the ZF you were talking about, as soon as you said ZF, is this the same big company that makes all these 8 and 9-speed transmissions for hot upper end cars and all that?
I believe so. So I know they also make transmissions for inboard marine applications and things like that. So they are.
These are the high end transmission people. Okay.
Yeah. I'm familiar. I've been in and around the ZF transmissions on the inboard applications, and you've got manufacturers now that have designed boats for inboard applications or for your competitors' pod drive system, where now they're looking at, wow, we have a boat that basically, with whether it's V drive, straight shaft, or pod drives, runs a certain way. I mean, the boat runs the way it runs. You can only affect the angle of the way the boat's running by using trim tabs, and that's only to counter weight, wind, wave, sea conditions. So now you enabling manufacturers with present product that they have, if they want to reconfigure, they can get these boats up on plane and trimmed out, increase the performance of the boat, increase the fuel efficiency. What's been the feedback from manufacturers?
Yeah, I think manufacturers are really excited. A lot of those traditional diesel, whether it be pod or shaft drive applications, they've also seen that what's happening in the market, right? Consumers moving either to a center console because they want outboard, or moving to a potential competitor that has an outboard model. So they're starting to look at what they can do to get outboard in their portfolio. In some of these larger applications, they wanted to have as few of engines on the back as possible. So the 600 Verado really provides them that sort of application. A couple of those brands that we had that are in that kind of a sport yacht or large sport runabout category down at Lake X. We had a Sea Ray 400 SLX outboard with twin 600s on it. We had a Tierra 48 LS, so that's a brand new model from them, designed around the 600 with triple 600s on it. And then we had the Formula 500 SSC, which is a 53-foot overall, about 50,000 pound boat with quad 600s on it that ran about 70 miles an hour, which in that segment is pretty amazing.
It flies.
So the engines in production available.
So they will start to ship to our OEM partners in Q2.
Q2, okay. And by the way, we were supposed to get a free one for Mike the Mariner for his new boat.
Well, I tell you what, Greg.
Only one.
Yeah. I don't know. Does he need more than one, Patrick?
No,
what do you think?
He would need two.
Okay.
You kind of joked about that earlier, but I guarantee you, if Mike had the opportunity to take those Cummins diesels out, and go with these outboards, and now he's got a boat that can actually be trimmed out and get more of the boat up out of the water, less friction, greater fuel efficiency, greater performance.
Yeah,
he'd probably jump at it.
Okay, and by the way, Jeff, since it's two that we need for Mike, I'm willing to throw in a World of Boating shirt and a hat. So you could. But that's
Patrick,
all I got. That's all I got.
I was reading more about this, the electrical system. Each engine has a 150 amp alternator on it. It's more power than you'll get from a Honda Ridgeline pickup truck.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is Greg's truck of choice, which we barely call a truck. Hopefully you don't have one, Jeff.
Oh, boy.
But I do want to, that's a great point, Barry. And Jeff, a little bit about that, as we've seen the increase in devices on boats. Everything is being more reliant upon battery power and the engines to be able to supply that. A little bit about that when we come back from our break.
There you go. Right here on the World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Do you have a message or product you need to share with the boating world? Well, look no further than the World of Boating radio show. Just like you, thousands of boating enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to worldofboating.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 psi left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
Successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the world of boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Hey, what's going on out there?
There's a boat.
Whoa. Is anybody on it?
Yeah, some hairy guy. Oh, wait a minute. He's got company. Oh, farts.
Floating down the river, sailing on the sea, cruising on the ocean, boats are for me.
This is the world of boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick, Barry the boater, and our special guest from Mercury Marine, Jeff Becker. He is telling us about the V12 Verado, which, by the way, you can just go to mercurymarine.com and just search on Verado, or just look for outboard engines and be right there, I assume, Jeff, or what? What do you think?
Correct, yeah. And then with the launch, there's a lot of coverage, a lot of video from down at Lake X if you want to see them in action all over the internet. So.
Yeah, where is Lake X? Come on.
I can't tell you.
Come on.
Can't tell you.
Good.
I figured if I just ask him, he might let it slip. But no such luck.
Yeah, it's been a big secret for a long time, but it's become more popular, and you can actually put it in Google Maps and it'll pull it up. So it's just southeast of Orlando, just outside of St. Cloud.
Well, there you go. How about that? See, we did get it out of him, Patrick.
Yeah, well, back when I made about maybe half a dozen visits there. It was, you can't tell anybody we're here. Don't look at anything. We got to blindfold you, that type of thing.
Yeah.
They inject a tracker in your arm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeff, before the break, we were talking about the size of the alternator on this. And again, something that I think Mercury Marine seemed to be certainly looking forward on. We know with the advent of more electronics, you got bow thrusters, you got Seakeepers, everything that's really driven by battery power. And we know a lot of manufacturers going to VSRs. Once you drop below 9.5 volts, that VSR locks you out, and you can't get back to a full charge. You guys seem to be right on top of it with these alternators.
Yeah, so the new 7.6 liter Verado has a 150 amp alternator, which is market leading for outboard. The next highest is our V8 300 with 115 amp. So really getting that power back into the boat. The other thing that the 7.6 liter includes, which we started to introduce to some of our other platforms as well, is a strategy called the idle charge strategy. So what the engine does is it's constantly monitoring battery voltage, and if it notices low battery voltage, it will automatically increase your engine RPM at idle in increments of 25 to put more power back into the boat. So really, again, just to help these boaters out as we continue to see more and more electronics and make sure that they're able to get home safely if they're out offshore.
Barry, it seemed like you liked that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I guess it wouldn't be so great if you're driving along or you're trolling or something like that, because it would start to increase your speed. But if you're sitting at anchor and you want to just keep the batteries charged up a little bit, let it idle for a while, that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, what happens is, with Seakeeper, with their 12-volt system, and you've got your anchor power winches, you got bow thrusters, things that you're using when the boat is, running, but it's in neutral. But the battery draw is so great on those systems that this will compensate. And that's...
And if you have two of them on there, that's 300 amps of power that you could draw from.
A lot of juice.
Yeah. So you were talking about, I still haven't gotten the idea of joystick driving a boat yet. 'Cause I'm used to having a wheel where I could feel, the engine kick back and all that stuff. When you're in a joystick, can you if you don't have the feedback, I guess it's a learning curve you need to use with this.
Yeah, and our joystick system has been out for a number of years. I think it's made boating more accessible and a little less maybe challenging for some newer boaters.
Yeah, how are you at Pac-Man, Barry? By the way, it's the same theory. It's the same thing. I think I got an advantage over Barry when it comes to that.
It's the same thing as when you play a race car video game versus driving an actual race car.
Mm-hmm.
That feedback is different, but I know they use it on aircraft now and all that. And I know on this particular model of engine, you have a 45-degree ability to turn that lower unit, not even the lower unit, but the bullet, 45 degrees versus a shorter amount of turn ratio on a regular engine, which allows you to almost turn it go sideways now into a dock.
Correct. Yeah. And what we've seen with a lot of the authority, even on our 400s and 450s, they've been able to translate a boat sideways. But really, with outboard going on larger and larger boats, that 45-degree steering angle will be really important to get that authority and really move those boats. You can see, again, kind of back to our launch partners that we had at Lake X, the 50-foot Formula had quad 600s, and they were able to turn that boat on a dime in the basin without a bow thruster.
That's amazing.
Joystick.
And if you had a bow thruster, it would be like one of those cruise ships that come into dock. You just pull up to it and you turn the engine, you turn the bow thruster, you go in sideways.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, but the thing with bow thrusters is they're noisy and everybody knows you're using it, and then you look like you don't want to be that guy.
I have no problem being that guy.
I want to be that guy.
down to the joystick and Barry, joystick as far as for close quarter maneuvering, whether the ones that are out there on the market, I've been through the wide range, including when we were doing the Zeus, Merc Zeus pod drives on one of our yachts. Really kind of intuitive. I mean, you get the hang of it really quick, and it's amazing how quickly it just becomes. It's just a deft touch, to your right to maneuver the boat on these close quarter situations. And having bought in 53s by myself, I mean, it's just, I never thought I'd really miss the day of split controls, 2 shift, 2 throttle, but there you go.
Is. Captain Patrick's old dog learning new tricks. Barry, the boater, is just old. And, not really in tune with what the kids are doing these days. See, I just
want my big wheel.
Yeah, old school. That's fine. Jeff, thank you so much. MercuryMarine.com. Check it out. We'll wrap it up there for this week of the big show. Till next time, remember, whether it's sail or motor,
life is better as a boater.
Safe boating, everyone.
Come back here, you barnacle-bitten swab!
World of Boating is brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Any of this getting through to you, son?
World of Boating is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Computer standing by.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past shows worldwide over the internet at worldofboating.com.
Computers can do that?
So tell a friend and come aboard every week for the World of Boating.
This is so great. I can't wait. I'm getting goosebumps. Feel me.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
TTFN, ta-ta for now.
The opinions you just heard on the World of Boating are those of the hosts, callers, and guests. They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
What are you being such a weenie for?
While on the water, your safety and the safety of many others depends on you. So boat smart and operate your vessel only after receiving the proper training and instruction for your area.
There is a fine line between genius and madness.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at worldofboating.com.